So let's first just grab a ball and have it fairly close to your body. Feel that essence of the ball between your hands and lift it up to your chest. And we're going to hand it over and just pretend that you're handing it over to gravity and let gravity have that. And feel that through your body all the way down to your feet. So you're just giving it over to gravity. We'll do 3 of those. So bring it up. And feel the weight of it, and then just pretend that you're handing it over and giving it over to gravity. And feel it go down your body as you just let it go. And then when you bring up, you're pumping open the joints, the ankles, knees, hips, all along your spine. Feel the weight of the ball. Push it out. And then hand it over give it over to gravity. And let it go all the way down, and you've opened up your joints. I really am feeling something when I hand it over to gravity or give it over to gravity. So I would suggest that we do that first again. So hold that ball, feel it, lift it up, and as you do, pretend it's heavy and pour it down into your feet. So pick it up. It's heavy. Feel it going down to your feet because it's so heavy. At about chest height, float it out. This can change, right? And now it becomes heavy, and we're just going to give it to gravity. And as your hands go down your body, you can feel that you are pouring it. You're just releasing your body into gravity, and you open your joints because you're lighter. It's that yin and yang feeling. Float your elbows forward. Now put your awareness in the space. Bring your wrists together. This rounds and opens your back, so round and open your back. Your shoulder blades are out to the sides and flat. Draw the fingers toward your belly button. That further rounds the back. Open up, and without moving your shoulders now, open and blossom out from the heart. Not too far, your hands not too far apart. And then rest on the ball and hand it over to gravity. Now imagine that your elbows are down just a little bit, and they're like big kickstands. And they're helping to support you and hold your body up. Your knees are kickstands in front of you. Kickstands are on an angle. And now the space between your hands and your chest. Embrace that space. Soften and lift your chest. And now feel your hands, the space between your fingers. And spread that feeling so now you have energy mittens surrounding your hands. And grow that now to be long gloves all the way up to your elbows. All the way up to your shoulders. Embracing your trunk. And you can release into it. And now your pelvis, your thighs. Now feel the bottom of your feet. And place an antenna on top of your head. And let that antenna just pierce a little bit through the sky. I want you to just stretch open your hands just a bit. Now breathe, release, and roll your hands, slide them around the outside of that ball, and tuck that ball into your front, and your elbows forward just a little bit. And imagine that the weight that we have given to gravity is in your dantian. But the rest of you is floating, like your dantian's the nucleus of an energy balloon all around you. Your eye gaze would be down towards the floor, about 10 or 15 feet in front of you. Take a breath in, release, sitting down a little more. Press out to the sides, standing back up almost all the way, just barely before you lock your knees. Now pump open your ankles and your knees and your hips and your spine. And you're inside of a balloon, and the balloon is shrinking upon you. And you just gently hold the walls of the balloon with your arms, your back, the feet, and the head. And as it shrinks on you, you can use that friction, that counter friction, to release and relax. And then as you breathe metaphorically into that space, the space gets a little bigger, the balloon gets a little bigger, as do you. 1 or 2 millimeters, not much. And then the balloon shrinks on you, and you feel it embracing you, holding you up. Now we'll bring our hands back together in front and open up that back, the upper back. Draw the fingertips into your center, sitting down a little more. Feel as though you're drawing a string up from the bottom of your feet all the way through the crown of your head, and then blossom the energy out from your heart. Embrace your space. And in here, no corrections, absolute stillness. And then release. Let your elbows sink down. Take this energy ball. Feel the density of it. I want you to pretend you're drawing it into your dantian. You're condensing it, increasing the density of it. Less space, more matter, right in the center of your dantian. Now place your mind between the hands. And that space, imagine that you can breathe into that space with your energy. You're not using your own breath. It's your energy's breath. And that space grows and grows, and you follow it. It has no bounds. And then we suspend for half a second to suspend time. And then feel the space between your hands and imagine that you're taking all of those atoms, you're condensing it down, pressing it into a beautiful condensed energy ball. It has more weight to it, so draw it into your dantian and let gravity have it. Give it over to gravity. That's right. We'll do one more. Open up that space between your hands by imagining that you're taking your energy, your mind, your intent, you're breathing into that space. And you expand it and expand it. And you still embrace it. Still your space. And then for half a second, just pause time, suspending time. And then draw it back in, condensing that energy. Feel the resistance between your hands. Work with that. And draw it into the dantian and give it over to gravity so your body can rest in it. rooted and floating. Now the space between your hands and your qua, expand that space. And the hands float up. And release your shoulder blades down to your sit bones, your elbows down to the sand. And then your wrist resting on the ground and your fingers dipping deep into the earth. And one more, the space between your hands and your qua. That space expands as you breathe into it. And it floats your arms and your whole body. And then your shoulder blades, the tips of them, sink them to your sit bones. And then your elbows rest in the soft sand. And then your wrists sinking into the earth. And your fingers elongating and dipping into the earth's surface. And then releasing your arms and let them just hang. And imagine that you're embraced by this energy all around your body. You can feel it on your skin. And now I want you to release your energy into your skin, 1 millimeter past your skin, so you join the energy that's all around you. As though you become one with that energy. And now we'll do gathering chi to close our standing meditation. So float the arms up. Whatever feels right to you. If you want to reach and stretch, that's fine. If you just want to allow and open, all the way down. And then it's very important that we go ahead and shake any excess or accumulated chi that has pooled. So we shake it off. I want you to start with your hands, work up to the elbows. You'll get better at this, and then your shoulders. I do the whole trunk a little bit. Then your feet, your ankles, shake, work up to the knees. And then the hip is a little harder, but you can get it. Just imagine you can shake that joint. Ankle, knee, hip. And then we bounce. And as you bounce, this is a good practice of what that feels like to give it over to gravity. Let your muscles just hang. And if you're really bouncing right, everything jiggles. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Inside organs, fluids. Tap, tap, tap on your heels. And then finally, but most importantly, I think, is to roll those ankles to get the fascia underneath the feet. So you're running from the metatarsal head of your big toe, which is the ball of your foot, to the little toe, keeping it rolling. And then reverse it, little toe to big toe. And I'm talking about the balls of the toes. They're called the metatarsal heads. And your heel is just along for the ride. Try to get it from the ankle, not too much at the hip. And then switch sides. If you're doing this right, you will feel it a little bit at the fascia under your feet. And reverse it. All right, very nice. That was a nice warm-up.